Brother Grizz.
What's up, man?
What's up? How you doing today?
Not too bad. A little hungover.
I feel it.
Little hungover. I'm good.
Yeah, fucking the old lady brought her nephew over, and the kid's only like 9, but he's got massive ADHD, and just did not shut the fuck up from the time he got here to the time he went to sleep. That's why I hopped out of Discord last night.
That's just kids, dude. That's all
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah, I know. It's just a little bit more annoying because it's not my kid.
That probably does help.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, my whole thing is like, god damn, bro, like, I pay the fucking rent around here, I fucking buy the food, this and that, like, the least they could do is just, like, bring him fucking outside one. Right, like, bring him fucking outside, like, let me play the game. You already made me move my fucking game into the fucking living room and shit, like, gotta move my whole fucking setup in the middle of the fucking living room. Fucking watching SpongeBob right next to me while I'm trying to heal solo shuffle. It was just fucking annoying.
Yeah, my kids watch cartoons all fucking.
Yeah, like, you know, like, I literally wouldn't care if it was my kid. I wouldn't give a shit, bro, like.
I'm not good at healing mages, dude, but mages always sign up.
Dude, mages sign up, and it's just, ugh. I was healing a solo shuffle a little bit ago, and like the entire match, the entire 6 rounds, like the DPS sat on opposite sides of the map fighting each other.
Yeah.
And I was just like, you guys want heals, right? But then I'm sitting here running to you trying to fucking get back in line, and you're running around a fucking pillar.
Yeah, the zug.
You're kiting your own fucking heals.
Oh.
But I'm the trash one, right? I need to be a better healer, right?
You need to be on both sides, dude. You need to be everywhere, dude.
Yeah.
Well, I got Frosty K. We'll see what happens here.
DoorDash is like, hey, you might want to order some food for all that alcohol you ordered.
They probably should have done that. How much did you get?
Oh, nothing, bro. I didn't even get a lot, bro. I just got like a little, what's the 7, not even. Well, let me see. I got the 200 milliliter bottle of Jim Beam and a fucking 6-pack of the 16-ounce MGD. That was it. I didn't even get a lot.
Oh, not bad.
That's like a solid, you know, single person's day right there, man. I ain't got nobody else freaking. They're out fishing right now. When they come back, I'm about to be good and fucked up. They'll definitely leave me the hell alone then.
Frost DK versus Unholy DK.
I think the Frost DK wins that. Maybe the Unholy DK. Unholy's #1 in damage for Mythic Plus right now.
These balls do a lot of damage.
Yeah.
But Unholy has the sustain.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's just like Hunters. You've got your burst damage like Frost is Marksman, and then
Unholy Assault.
Unholy is just pet damage. And dot
Train
damage, bro. The
magic.
fucking dot damage is insane from the bleeds and shit and the curses. Explosives.
Apocalypse. Thunder. Crusader down.
This is Dreamwalk.
Dead Prince. Trinketed.
Oh yeah.
Zombie. Zombie. Pony. Repentance. Success. Pony. Apocalypse. Searing Glare. Dark Transform. Zombie. Dead Flip. Blinding Fleet. Light Protection.
I was playing Void
Divine
Weaver
Shield,
earlier
Icebound,
though in
and
solo
Justice.
shuffle, and that was pretty fun. I had a
Avenging
couple
Crusader.
6-0s that I got.
Pull down. Icebound down. Zombie. Zombie. Then. Crusader down. Unholy Assault. Mind Freeze. Dispel. Dead Press. Apocalypse. Forbearance down. Zombie. Light Protection.
Oh, I should have laid a hand, dude. Should have done a lot of things.
Zombie.
Ah, fuck.
I had one earlier. I forget what I was playing. Oh yeah, I was Boomy Frost Mage, and we were winning, bro. I was winning the mana battle, I was winning the health battle, I was winning the damage battle, bro. Everything. And then all of a sudden, bro, I forget what it was on the enemy team. Popped some dumb shit, dude, and I life swapped because they were taking damage all of a sudden, and then life swap, and next thing I know, everyone on the team is at 15% health, and I'm spamming Radiance. I'm like, no, no, no.
He's lagging. He did major damage.
Shit, they're back already, bro. That sucks.
You like?
The permit's not even here yet. This is whack. Alright, I'm gonna hop out of here before Discord turns into a fucking shit show.
Okay, man.
Later. I'll be on later for sure though.
Good.
Immolation.
I am out of range.
T-down.
I do not have a target.
Reverse magic. Metamorphosis. The Blur down. Life cocoon. Wait. Battle Master down. Purge. Transcendence. Boom down. Immolation. T-down. Metamorph down. Nova. Metamorphosis. Fight Vigil. Whisper. Transcendence. Trinketed. Immolation. Purge. Paralysis. Dispel. T-down. Metamorphosis. Bleeding. Leg swing. Metamorph down. Demon kick. Purge. Immolation. Down. Trinketed. Metamorph down. Reverse magic. Diffuse magic. Grapple. The Hunt. Restore. Chaos Nova. Transfer. Blur. Metamorphosis. Immolation. Metamorph down. Blur down. Purge. T-down. Fight Vigil. Metamorphosis. Leg swing. Metamorph down. IV. Touch of death.
Fuck that. I don't know what.
Immolation. Fifth bleeding.
Really
Grapple.
fucking. I don't know
T-down.
what you're doing, bro, but you like sat there and didn't even fucking hit it, dude, for a long fucking time, dude. I have no idea, dude.
I have many, many wares.
You're lagging out or something. You weren't hitting anything for long periods of fucking time, bro. The monk should have been dead. Not bad.
Prowl. Death Grip. Chastise. Unholy Assault. Anti-Magic. Spirit. Success. Shell down. Cyclone. Trinketed. Holy Serenity. Power Infusion. Trinketed. Life. Holy Serenity. Just the fun. Shell down. Dark French. Master. Success. Asphyxiate. Holy Serenity. Bar Trinketed. Dispel. Anti-magic shells. Chastise. Death Grip. Psychic Scream. Shell down. Wild Charge. Disorienting Roar. Cyclone. Success. Holy Assault. Wild Charge. Shell down. Holy Serenity. Holy Life. Blinding Fleet. Metamorph ready. Spectral Sight. Immolation. Sides down. Holy Serenity. Power Infusion. Chastise. Death Grip. Nova. Dispel. Holy Serenity. Shadow Meld. Force. Chastise. Asphyxiate. Bound. Anti-magic shell. Psychic Scream. Sigil Fear. Dispel. Death Shell down. Icebound down. Metamorphosis. Incredible. Holy Serenity. Metamorph down. Purge. Immolation. Fleet. Dispel. Metamorphosis. Chaos Nova. Blur down. Psychic Scream. Anti-magic shell. Clean Lie. Shell down. Holy Serenity. Immolation. Chastise. Eruption. Death Tendril. Asphyxiate. Apocalypse. Metamorph down. Sigil. Never walk down. Immolation.
Get closer.
Chastise. Metamorphosis. Metamorph down. Trinketed. The Hunt. Psychic Scream. Immolation. Trinketed. This. Wild Charge. Metamorphosis. Metamorph down. I-beam. Incarnation down. Psychic Scream. Cyclone. Solar Beam. Instant Regen. Cyclone. 6 Recognition. Haymaker. Incarnation. Recognition down. Recognition down. Shadow Instincts. Cure. Chaos Nova. Psychic Scream. Metamorph. Cyclone. Success. Chastise. Cyclone. Tendrils. Success. Bat Monster. Holy Serenity. Morph down. Wild Charge. Mass Entanglement. Deep Regen. Cure. The Hunt. Boom. Psychic Scream. Metamorph down. Holy Serenity. Heart of the Wild. Frenzied Regen. Heart of the Wild. Down. Instincts ready. Camouflage. Immolation. Metamorphosis. Power Infusion. Scream. Metamorph down. Explosive Trap. Hunter's Mark. Guardian Spirit. Stable Call. Spike Sigil. Trinketed. Divine Hymn. Binding. Bound. Chaos Nova. Bound. Pet Stun. Trinket. Breathing Trap. Trinket. Sigil Fear. Metamorphosis. Battle Fear. Metamorphosis. Down. Burns down. Camouflage. Chastise.
I am out of range.
Death Grip. Dark Transform. Explosive Trap. Hunter's Mark. Apocalypse. Freezing Trap. Beast Trap. Guardian Spirit. Trinketed. Chastise. Tendrils. Battle Master. Asphyxiate. Psychic Scream. Haymaker. Battle. Dispel. Mind freeze. Menpet. Chastise. Beast trap. Dark transform. Psychic scream. Purge.
I don't have a target.
Head stun. Holy serenity. Freezing trap. Apocalypse. Tendril. Trap. Roar. Down. Binding shot. Holy serenity. Bound. Hunter's mark. Feasting. Death grip. Beast trap. Purge. Dispel.
I am out of range.
Psychic freezing trap.
Get closer.
Camouflage. Chastise.
I am
Cyclone.
out of range.
Cyclone. Success. Haymaker. Explosive
Power
trap.
infusion.
Psychic scream. Beast trap. Stable call. Binding
Disc
shot.
divine
Bound.
hand.
Bound. Bound.
Solar beam.
Battle master down. Explosive trap.
Disorienting roar.
Success. Holy serenity.
Mass entanglement.
Battle master down. Beast trap. Psychic green.
Roar of fighting spirit.
Holy serenity. Multi. Freaking trap. Bound. Trap. Typhoon. Sides down.
Many deals for a friend of the Grumbles like you.
You are gathered here for my entertainment. I mean, to prove yourself.
Demon Hunter. I think that it's kind of what I said before we got into the series. I feel like they want to play Demon Hunter into FMP, but they don't want to play Demon Hunter into the sub role. After the,
It's time for the show.
So I think Dobop actually did come out ahead a little bit in the blind pick, and it still looks
Shadow
kind of
Mound.
tough. So I think that Chibaku could potentially still win this, but a little easier time, kind of play to that win condition, and also just have a little bit more safety. Demon Hunter's going to be bringing in Burst Magic.
True shot. Drinking it. Shot. Mind control. Down, returns down. PS down. Yeah. Void Shift. Infusion down. Aim shot.
Exactly, and every mage
That is down. Trinketed.
I did not expect this outcome.
Sticking to him and just making
Icy gains down.
gameplay difficult. But you know, I don't think that's a free match. I think that Demon Hunter Ellie have very meta classes, very high DPS, very good in dampening. If they can hold on, if Chibaku doesn't make mistakes defensively like Lontar did honestly last game, it's not going to be an easy one for Dobop. They're going to have to play very well. And I like you're saying, I want to see the bottom make some plays, even if it doesn't feel good. Very high pressure, high stakes tournament here. You need to make the enemy team nervous.
Greater invisibility.
Play that space, Lontar that space. It's going to be so easy for them to react.
Shadow Meld.
If you want to see Dobop run,
Exactly. Fear as well. Fear Z5,
Trinketed.
cover Lontar.
Aim shot. Mind test. Shot. That is down.
The strongest mortals are. For now.
PS down.
I think that would be a good way for them to open up the match. How about swapping Because the sub rope kind of counters Houston a lot of with those stun locks kind of setups onto Demon Hunters. But if Eldred can do, it's not as potent, but if Eldred definitely can do the same thing, is that something that could potentially be a win condition as well for Dobop?
Absolutely. I mean, I think Dobop just drops everyone, just tackles everyone. Swap this. You know, the Feral Druid doesn't have that, like, you know, has a decent amount of control. Yes, it's not quite
Shadow Meld. Immolation. Spectral
You
Sight.
can still make something happen. So I want to see them play very aggressive. I don't want to
Metamorphosis.
see what we saw last game.
The Hunt. Sides down. Trinketed. Nova. Icy Vein. Darkness. Blur. Blur down. Second breath. Eruption. Alter time. Metamorphosis. IP. PS. Frost. Mind control. Counter.
Exactly.
Displace.
So, got traded up for that lane CPI.
For entertainment.
Just having to force that big damage on Houston though. There's here trying to push Lontar away and
Icy Veins down.
But splitting up the Incarnate Veins is brilliant because you have to be able to, and if you're using both, that one cooldown can cover both Incarnate and Veins. So I'd love to see that adaptation. Very, very good. There's here under a lot of fire right now. Full stun on Relza into an Incap. Looks like he is going to be okay right now. But Zipai almost going down earlier, trading out the Stone Form on the Incarn, gets caught in a full main and, you know, almost drops. Once had to trade out to save it. So I'd love to see that. So Bob, we're cooking a little bit now. But Dezia still standing in the middle. And with the demon,
Shadow Meld.
Houston.
Houston!
Drink another.
No, he's gonna trinket, trade out the nether walk. I saw again a big cooldown.
Countered.
Tessia is pushing
It
in
is.
now. Looking for the Ring of Frost. There it is.
Mind
He's gonna
blessed.
get a chip as well. Oh, it's gonna be the reverse magic.
I am out of range.
They are playing a lot
Mage. Shield. Anti-magic shell. Nova. Horse. Mirror Alter time.
This just means more
Ice.
entertainment.
Dead breath. Ice. Down. Dead mind control. Success. Baking turned. Mage. Shield. Anti-magic shell. Anti-magic zone.
Still almost dying through.
Glitch.
This just means more entertainment.
Dragon breath. Mind blessed.
Right now having to trigger wall as well.
Glitch born down. Horse. PS. Ice.
I did not
PS
expect
down.
this outcome.
Finally starting to make those plays that we love to see from him. And Houston still with no trinket. Lonta with no trinket. Houston could honestly die in that next setup. They have an ice wall as well coming up in about 10 seconds. So they could isolate Houston, take him down. They could isolate Zipa and take him down. Literally anybody on the side of Dobob, or sorry, on the side of Shibaku is actually a target here for Dobob. Who are they going to go after? They keep up Houston. They're going after Flapper. But he has the Ray of Hope. Ice wall being casted. He gets instantly wind shear. Here's the ice wall coming out. They're going after Zipa. Big damage coming in here. There's
Shadow meld.
on to Lontar. Can they take him down? No. Yes. Huge damage. On
Dead breath. Shadow fiend. Trinketed. Anti-magic shell. Strangling. Mind blast. 30. Explosive shot. Aim shell down. Rune weapon. Big heal. Dead breath. Stands down. Returns down. Psychic scream.
I see who the strongest mortals are.
A little bit too
For
greedy
now.
and gets gifted.
Glitch born down.
I feel like I thought Tessia was on the wrong side of the wall there, trying to isolate Lontar. But look, yeah, they have Guardian right here coming back up. I think he's out of range there for a second, but now he is in range of Guardian. So unfortunately for him, it's just Relza didn't anticipate the damage there come in that hard. Because I don't think that was on Tessia's fault. I mean, let's be honest. They don't have Trinket on Lontar, they don't have Trinket on Houston, they don't have Trinket on Z5. They want to make an aggressive push with Ice Wall, which I think is the right play.
Shadow meld.
So obviously the mage has to play offensive in this position. Unfortunately for him, he just got absolutely blasted. And it's interesting because the first game looked kind of bad.
Dead breath. Shadow fiend. Snowdrift. Metamorphosis. Eruption. Force. The Hunt. Cindy's Fury. Metamorph down.
Interesting.
But,
I did not
as you said,
expect this outcome.
this game was good for FMP. It was going great. Jivaki Tensei instantly locking in the win this time around, so they are scared of that rogue. That does confirm that, which makes sense. Tolveron Arena, huge map.
I
What do you
have
think about
many
this?
lucky
FMP
dues
versus
you like. Farewell, friend of the
I
Grummels.
think it's solid, but I feel like their strategy to me, and this is what it sounds like, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it feels like Dobob has a different strategy in mind. They don't want to be playing this matchup where they're playing the kind of FMP that we're used to seeing from Dobob, where they're in your face, going after the enemy for constant crowd controls. Instead, it looks more like they just want to surprise somebody with huge burst damage. And when they have that big burst damage, they just want to go for a micro CC. So they want to just throw a Chastise onto Lontar and just combine it with an Icy Rays and just try to one-shot somebody in 2-3 seconds of CC or just a Dragon's Breath. You know, like just some instant micro CC onto Lontar when they have damage cooldowns, and they're not afraid to play into dampening, because sure, dampening favors Shibaku Tensei in the sense that they will win on mana, but the pressure and the burst that Dobo can pack in dampening is also really good. So I think that is their win condition. What do you think about that?
I can see them, making it work. The only issue with it is that Shibaku Tensei reacts appropriately. If Houston, peels defensively, gets paralysis at the right time, shuts down the go, and time is ticking for them. That's really the problem, because the Holy Priest runs out of healing faster than the rest of the group does, especially on this cleave heavy early shot. So maybe they're they're not wanting to play that aggressive style because it's such a high stakes tournament right now, and they're opting for a more safer, give style, cheese kills. But it worked, in game 1, but game 2, the game was looking good for them, so it is working out. It's just not something that I think is to their strength. And if you're Thezia, Relza and Flappers, I think that you should play to your strength. You should overwhelm the enemy team and just bulldoze them down.
Yeah, because I mean, Oberon is a map where you want to be playing on top of your enemy. It's not the best map for that. So
Exactly.
it's definitely a good map if you want to just sit back and PvE. So I feel like for Shibaku, they're not too unhappy with that. But we'll see if that strategy from Dobop comes out, if it's going to work. Ice Wall coming out. Lontar is on the right side of the wall, manages to keep his team alive. They trade out the Touch of Karma. They still have the Fuse Magic, I believe, on Houston. Zipai though wants to get clapped here in the opener. Let's trade out the Astral Shift. So again, a pretty standard trade, and they actually did not split the Icy Veins and the Incarnate, just popped both of them. Oh my god, Houston is taking a lot of damage here, but Lontar is able to recover his team. Such a scary amount of burst in the beginning, but now Flappers would be in trouble.
I mean, this is a completely different Dobop than we're used to seeing. Look at this, yeah. Right now, he's getting a sheep on Lontar who pushed in. Zipai in a lot of trouble though, gets restunned, chooses to Trinket Burrow instead. Had no Astral Shift ready yet. Lontar getting punished a little bit for pushing in here. Honestly, a little bit debatable. I don't know if that's really worth it for him. I think it's better to play safe. You're going to win in the long run. Just sit back, relax by the pillar, and let your DPS handle things.
Yeah, we'll see if Lontar, at least at this point, it's still very early in the match, so it should be okay for Lontar. But Houston forced to trade out the Diffuse Magic here. But Houston actually has no defensive defense here for a little while. He sure has this trinket he could port away, but Flappers in a little bit of trouble. Nice counter spell on the Lightning Lasso of Zipai, and Flappers is going to recover here. Rosa has his Guardian coming up in a couple of seconds. Lontar also has his Ancient of Lore, so both healers with big cooldowns available. Nice Cyclone onto Flappers on around 50% HP. Lontar pushing in, getting a stun on Tessia as well, and trying to give Houston a little bit of uptime, but Zipai could be in trouble here. Stack up for the Meteor, and it looks like they are going to be completely fine here. Flappers getting the Ray of Hope on that Windwalker damage, and the Flappers should be able to survive with that. Now Tessia forced to bring back actually. This is kind of what Shibaku wants though. They're actually pushing Dobop all the way back to the pillar and just taking control over the midfield. And I think that is something that is definitely going to work in their favor. Nice Hex there on the Tessia as well, just slowing them down. For Shibaku, the name of the game is just slow things down, get to the late game, and then just win on mana.
Exactly, and the Eli Shaman and the Windwalker Monk gonna scale quite nicely into dampening. Holy Priest, not so much, right? Zipai in a lot of trouble though, uses his Dwarf, isn't able to shrink it out of this stun. Incarn Bane's trying to punch Zipai on that stone block, gets traded out. Zipai doesn't have any cooldowns for it, but also gets the Iron Bar from Lontar. Reversing pressure on Flappers, but he does have the skin, and this Incarn Bane is going to be absolutely deadly. See if they can get any more. Houston Ice Wall doesn't amount to anything. Lontar actually trinketing in that exchange here, so there is an opening. Zipai does have his trinket, but he doesn't have wall. So if they can get some damage going on Houston or Zipai, they can maybe lead that into something. Full bash on Lontar. Full sheep from behind. Brilliant.
Nice setup here coming out from Dobop. And they get the follow-up CC. They do get another polymorph. Actually, was grounded there by Zipai. Nicely done by Zipai. But still, Lontar with no trinket for a minute is going to give Dobop a little bit of room here to make something happen. They don't have Ice Wall for another 48 seconds. Icy Veins coming up in about 30, as well as that Incarnation still being about a minute away. So no heavy hits here on the side of Dobop. and instead they just gonna have to try to snowball something into a lead with potential long CC chain, and they make it happen though. They do have still a long while left.
Yeah.
On the trinket, nice counter spell there onto Lontar. Tessia drops low though, and Lontar is still going for these cyclones, and he manages to get the cyclone onto Flappers. Now Tessia is getting past it here. Zeepai is definitely unloading in the midfield of the map. Flappers also taking a huge hit of damage. There's the Ring of Frost, but nice Ancient of Lore to avoid the CC, and Lontar's been doing a great job just whenever his trinket is coming back off cooldown, he pops that Ancient of Lore to kind of just stall for his trinket cooldown, and that is going to allow them to kind of negate that window. There's the bash though for Lontar. They don't have any follow-up CC. Flappers could be in trouble. Big heal coming out from Relza. Houston also dropping quite low in that exchange. Trades out the Diffuse Magic. Ice Wall coming out, but not doing too much work here for Dobob. And mana is looking real tough here for Relza.
Yeah, and Lontar actually was behind in mana early on in this game, the first minute, but of course with the Elemental Shaman, the Windwalker Monk pulling ahead. Flappers in a bit of trouble here, has no trinket, does have SI out. Relza trading his Angel, but you know, that was the Veins from Desia. Now it's income from Flappers. Zeepai full stun, he could die here. Lontar's in a full fear, trinkets.
Huge setup there. That all started with Tessia getting a counterspell onto Lontar, and then they chained it with more CC. Now, all of a sudden, there's another window of opportunity here. Flappers needs to be careful, though. That's a touch of karma coming out from Houston, so Houston's going to be a good target. Zeepai is going to be a great target, actually. Zeepai has nothing. He's already running down quite low. Dampening definitely working for both teams right now. They still have a little bit of mana left in the tank on Relza. And you can see Shibaku Tensei, they realize that they are in a little bit of danger at this point with no cooldowns left. They're going to just stall it out and just try to play it safe. But at the same time, if they give up too much ground, Relza could get a drink, and that could be absolutely game-changing. Houston is going to be a good target here as well. No Diffuse Magic for a couple of seconds, but Flappers is dropping low. And that is the Ray of Hope connecting on Flappers. Should be enough to help him out. And Houston is dropping quite low, but he has his Diffuse Magic back, and he should be able to survive with that. But the mana not looking good right now for Lontar as well. Actually, no Innervate, has the Ancient of Lore, but still, Relza still has a little bit left in the back pocket with that Void Shift. Just popped that Apotheosis. Relza's looking for a drink. Can he actually get mana here? He's getting mana. Nicely done. They can trade the Ice Block for this. I think they will. There it is. Ice Block coming out from Tessia. Relza got a little bit of mana, and that could be the difference maker in this match.
Desia trades out his Icy Veins and has to go defensive. Flappers has to get swapped by Relza. Desia trading out most of his Icy Veins in a block defensively. So they lose that massive window just for what, 5% mana from Relza? And look at the mana difference again. He's almost out. 25 seconds left for Flappers Incarnate, and he's been on the run in cat form for a minute straight. He hasn't done a point of damage. If he can make it to that point, they have a slight window to get a kill, but this is going in Shibaku's favor right now. Relza is dead. Boom goes into Angel form. Flappers Incarnate in 7 seconds. See what he can do with that in a moment.
Yeah, and this is Lontar actually getting a lot of mana left. This could be it. This is the swing match. Flappers might just drop right now. They got nothing left. Huge lava burst coming through. Zeepai looking hungry here in the midfield of the map, but Relza with a miraculous recovery. Flappers looking for the Cyclone. Gets interrupted by Lontar. Even Lontar smelling blood in the water here. Getting aggressive on the Druid, but here comes Relza. Cast Ice Stun into the Fear. Gets it, but Zeepai is there to deny with the Tremor Code and full Hex. He can't get it. There's the Incarnation. This is the last opportunity, but he gets stunned on it by Lontar. Lontar making some big plays here in the last couple of moments. 35% dampening. Relza with no cooldowns left, with no mana left. Dobob are making their final stand with this Ice Wall. Can they take down Zeepai? It doesn't look like it. Lontar powering through with Tranquility. Flappers is flailing to stay alive. The offensive touch of Karma coming out from Houston. Slicing Winds connecting. There's the leg sweep onto Tessia. But Flappers has managed to duck away from combat. He's managing to get away. Can he restart here? It doesn't look like it. The Guardian connects, but so does the leg sweep. So does the main stun. So does the damage. And somehow, some way, Flappers is still alive. But the question is, for how long? Houston is all over him. Nice little pet stun coming out there from Zeepai as he tries to close out the match. It should be pretty much over at this point. There's the Astral Shift aggressively as well. Lontar is in there as well. Some cat-on-cat violence, but the Veins from Tessia coming out. Could it be enough to close out the match? Lontar is in that tree form. There's no way that anybody on his team is going to die. That is going to be Shibaku Tensei taking game number 3.
If you look at the last 2 minutes of this game, Flappers was so despy, just running around in cat and bear form. Didn't attack anyone for such a long time, trying to buy Relza that little moment of respite to get a bit of mana, but it doesn't work out. You lose too much momentum. Shibaku Tensei reaching that point in dampening where Relza completely out of mana, just can't do anything. And going on this Feral Druid, making him run away, he just can't do damage. And yes, Desi is trying to pick up crossfire hits, but this is not enough. So excellent read on the situation by Chibaku. Again, I have to criticize Dobob. Game went on too long. He didn't do anything with the Banes. Incan came up. We stunned Houston. Flappers get stunned himself by Lontar. Good read by Lontar, but too despy, too late, and we need to get something going sooner if we want to win as Dobob. But excellent win from Chibaku.
Yeah, I think Rock definitely played to their strengths, and I like the aggression coming out from Lontar here as well. I like the fact that he didn't let that game one kind of blunder stop him from playing his game. He still had the confidence to push in, go for these stuns, because when Flapper pops that incarnation, he's immediately there. You can see it here even on the replay. Lontar is pushing in, trying to go for stuns, trying to make sure that he's assisting his team, because this deep into dampening is all about that offense. You're the team that can stay aggressive, you're the team that can push for the win. You are going to just keep that momentum rolling forever. So I like that from Shibaka Tensei. 41% dampening. Full veer. I feel like it backfired. I didn't like the full veer pick at all. It's just a dampener map. Like, you're playing, you know, Ellie, Resto Druid, comp. Like, you want to be the one picking full veer. But they're going to pick Maldraxxus Coliseum.
Oh.
Another large map here.
I mean, they must know something that I'm not thinking about here. Maybe they've got a lot of practice. I have seen them playing a lot of ladder, and they have had such good success into the elemental, shaman, and Resto Druid melee combo. So Dobob may be feeling a little bit of pressure here, wanting to play to what they think will work. But the reality is, and something that I've always praised about Dobob, is their aggression in a tournament situation. It's so easy to miss your cooldowns, rotate incorrectly, and get punished for it. That's what this team does excel at. Windwalker, Ellie, Drew locked in again. Dobob using their time here. Do they stick with the FMP? Or are they going to... Here it is. Okay. I'm curious to see how this will go. I think the sub-break is going to have a very hard time against Windwalker Monk. I think Houston, you know, one of his strengths is protecting his teammates on his melee. He's always been good at that. Very annoying to face, and we'll see if Trimaz can avoid that. He melded this time, make some plays. Maldraxxus though is RMP into Ellie Druid. I don't know what's going on here, Ziada. This is very sus for me. This is not what I want to be seeing. If I see this on my team, I'm gonna have a headache.
It's so nice to sit here with you, Chan, because usually we're sitting here as the casters. We're always like, what? Shouldn't they be playing on a small map? Don't they want to just be like making it really difficult for the Druid to kite the sub road? But now we get to have you here sitting with us, asking the exact same questions. What are they doing here? If you're a Resto Druid against a sub road, that's perfect. Like, the Ghost could not get more telegraphed than that. I feel like something at least mid-sized, like Tiger's Peak, but then you're picking Tiger's Peak into Ellie, which is also not that good. I feel like Hook Point is the play here. Hook point, you're just swapping around. The sub-rogue is always stepping around. He's always in range of the LA Shaman. He's always in range of the Druid. Either swap or set up. Even dot around sewers. Like maps like this would be fantastic for Dobob. Or maybe even the Cage.
Cage? Ruins as well?
Yeah, or Ruins. Yeah, these are all great maps, I feel like. But they're just picking these like really large maps, which I feel like just favor like dampening strats, which is basically Resto Druids. That's what they love to do, right?
Exactly.
So we're asking the same questions here.
I mean, like I said, maybe they know something. Maybe practice they tried to run in and they just died into ladder. Maybe it just doesn't work. But it is a different day. It is tournament day. It is not a random ladder game or war game to practice in. Everything changes when that's the situation you find yourself in. And you want to play something that can get behind the wheel and press on the pedal. So Dobob, let's see what they can do with some RMP. 3-1 for Japaki Tensei here, unfortunately is what I'm calling here. Trimaz is moving in, sap on Houston. Opens on Z5, gets stunned by Lontar. Opener gets shut down, Dimitri gets rid out.
See it, Trimaz tagged in with his team's backs against the wall. So who do you actually think is the target here? Just Z-Pi and Lontar for the RMP, or do you think actually they're going after Houston a little bit here? Might have even answered that question as I asked it, but I think they have some good opportunities to try to take somebody down, but of course Houston is playing that orc, so he's going to be reduced time in those stuns, but still, with pressure coming out from Dobov, they were not able to get any trinkets though, unfortunately. They still have a lot of cooldowns, still have blind, blades, and smoke bombs. Zipa is dropping low. There's the blind, and that is going to be Astral Shift. Can they chain it? Seamus is in a leg sweep. I don't think he's going to be able to chain into anything. Nice shutdown there from Houston, but they get the kidney shot of the Lontar. They're actually swapping to Lontar here. Nicely done from the RMP. Get the bark skin, but not able to get anything more. They wanted to get the trinket there ideally, but still a good push from Dobov.
Curiously, Trimaz not using his Shadow Blades yet, holding it for a rainier day. Now look at the situation. Lontar has no skill. Houston, big damage. Here comes the Blades. He does have Trinket though. Lontar getting in there, saving Houston. So not much coming from there. But Houston uses Karma there. Zipai has no wall and Lontar has no skin. So Dobov, they have an opportunity here. They need to go quickly. They need to stun Zipai or Lontar and make a swap right now. They need to get off Houston ASAP.
Yeah, let's see if they can do it. Maybe polymorph Houston and try to set something up with that. It doesn't look like it. Does it get shut down with Wind Shear Hex combo from Zipa once again. There's the sheep on Zipa, but it's some triple DR. Going after just raw pressure here on Houston. Huge damage actually there. Now they're going to swap to Zipa. They're just swapping around. Unfortunately, Lontar is in that engine of lore, so can't really crowd control him right now. Out there onto Trimaz. Shadows that picks Lontar as well. Lontar is off DR. If they could swap to Lontar, that would be ideal, but it doesn't look like it. Lontar is actually being aggressive. Might get sheep there now. Nice kick from Lontar. Last wave as well. Big mind games coming out. Trimaz in the meantime. Tremendous amount of damage. Was able to get through it and able to swap onto Lontar, but as you said, Houston really good at protecting his teammates. Beautiful ring of peace as soon as they shadow step and then they
It's so hard to face a Moonwalker Monk as up Rogan. You know, Thezia is popping his veins now, gets full stun on it. Oh, the swap comes out. Shivaku Tensei is in the driving seat right now. This is not what you want as the RMP of Dobov.
Yeah, they had to use they had to cancel Angel Form there and drop the Void Shift for Relza to try to keep Trimaz alive. And you can tell Shivaku Tensei are just getting cooldown after cooldown and surviving these big setups. Zipai right now is taking some damage. Nice Astral Shift being popped there in response to that Ice Wall. Houston, though, is going to be the target of choice potentially, but he still has his Trinket, he's still an Orc, he still has Karma, and Lontar, I think, is re-stealthed right now. The first stun onto Trimaz. Trimaz could be in trouble. How are they going to respond? As if they cast the interrupt, it's a lightning blast as well. Cognition page. Sitting through yet another kidney. There's the chastise onto Lontar. Into the cheap shot. They're swapping to Lontar. This could be it. That's the thing about the RMP. All you need is just a solid swap to the Druid. You could be able to take him down, but not able to execute on a kill there. They did get the bark skin though, so if they swap to Lontar again, they can get his trinket. And I really like that they're setting up these swaps on the Lontar with a chastise. Try to catch him out of form, something like a Dragon's Breath or a chastise, then set up the stun out of it. Gives the team just more time to coordinate the CC and the assault.
They're looking for it. Here it is, full kidney. Bomb. Will he trade his trinket tree? He does have the Giga Tree. Lontar gets restun. Trades nice and early. Shibaku don't want to mess around. Lontar fumbling the bag in the first game here, not wanting to take that risk just now. Good punish by Dobov. Lontar has this skin trinket. This is exactly what they need to do if they want to jump up here, because we're 2-3 minutes away from Relza being capped.
Yeah, definitely. Time is ticking here for Dobov, but Lontar could actually get caught up in a long CC chain. Actually, no, they're going for him. Can they get the bark chain? Doesn't have bark chain for a couple of seconds, but again, look at Houston, man. That is so annoying. Just comes in with the Ring of Peace every single time. Disarmed, paralyzed, just always at the right place at the right time with those peels. But still, they also have a... Oh, no, actually, they don't. They use the blind there. I was going to say they have a win condition where they could maybe set up with a blind or potentially set up onto one of the DPS with a blind on Lontar, but they actually did use it in that exchange. So unfortunately for them, they're not going to have that available. And now they have a pretty one-dimensional strat. The only thing they actually can do on the side of the RMP is continue to go after Lontar. And that strategy is very, very obvious. Trimaz in the leg sweep, taking a lot of damage from Houston. Relza, though, is there to back him up. He's got the Apotheosis, resetting his movement a little bit. He's caught up in a Hex. Managed to trinket out of it. Trimaz still in a lot of trouble. Ray of Hope connects. Old Sheep onto Houston. Lightning Lasso onto Tessia. And Zipai on the LA Shaman. Just so annoying. Lontar, look at Lontar. He's just a bear. As far away as possible from the match. He knows. I don't have Trinket. I'm the only one who can die. My teammates, they have all their cooldowns. I'm just going to AFK until I get my Trinket back. After he gets that Trinket back, then he can start playing aggressive. And if you're Dobov, you definitely hate to see that.
Exactly, and look at Trimaz. He was just running around the map in circles trying to live. Now he's going back in, but immediately under so much fire already. There's he getting put into a full Hex. No fair of the decursing out this time. Gets cloned on top as well, so it's going to be okay. But Trimaz getting life stripped back by Relza, but that just means that it's going to be... Gets full stun! Trinket Karma comes out, gets restunned. They're trying to go through it, but Houston's gonna be okay. Instant swap onto Lonta here from Trimaz. Love it.
Yeah.
Disarm.
Now they have an opportunity here with the smoke bomb still onto Houston potentially. So there's still signs of life here for Doga, but definitely not a lot of setups left before they're gonna run out of time. Nice Shadow Step kick there onto Lontar, but he answers with a Maim Stun onto Trimaz, Dragon's Breath, Sheep onto Houston. How are they going to set this up? Zipa could also block the kill. That Grinding Totem is going to be really important. Don't have a lot of mana left onto Relza, and Lontar is in that Ancient of Lore. Gets a Cyclone onto Relza, spamming out the heals. Houston is the target. Look at Lontar and Houston position right now. They're just stacking up. They know. Smoke Bomb is the only thing that can kill me. If we stack up, we can't really get that, but they're going to swap to Z-Fi here, get some pressure in here.
Here it is.
Smoke Bomb potentially there.
Shadow Blades.
Can he take him down? Big damage with the Shadow Blades. Can he take Houston down? Oh my goodness, he ports away at the very last second, and he will survive. And that was really the Hail Mary here for Dobo. I don't see any opening here. What can Dobo do to actually snowball this into a win somehow?
Well, they have the trinket, so that is the one opportunity. But that is the Shadow Blades, that is the Fiends. Also, Ellie rested through Windwalker without any cooldowns. Yes, they have no
Transcendence. Very fast strike. Cheap shot.
This is like, I don't think this is
Step. Shadow dance. Shadows. Storm favorite technique. Spear of cheap shot. Down. Smoke bombs. Trinketed. Leg sweep. Crane thong. Vanish. Cheap shot. Shell face. Spell reflection. Kick. Reflection down. Dragon roar. Pommel. Sacred technique. Shadow dance. Cheap shot. Cheap shot. Step. Very smash. Strike. Step. Storm. Cheap shot. Revival. Pommel. Kick. Sacred technique. Paralysis. Blind. Crane thong. Dispel. Gouge. Leg swing. Kick. Faint. Crimson Vial. Sprint. Faint down. Sweeping strikes down. Dispel. Commanding shout. Spell reflection down. Dragon roar. Shockwave. Stealth. Cheap shot. Cheap shot. Cocoon. Storm bomb. Cheap shot. Shadow dance. Dispel down. Smash shot. Spear of Bastion. Dispel. Sprint. Gouge. Kick. Shadow dance. Storm dance. Paralysis. Leg swing. Cloak down. Step. Transfer. Avatar. Sacred technique. Trinketed. Vanish. Sweeping strikes down. Sprint.
It's a bit unfortunate. Oh, 100%. It's 200k. Just thank the gods, and yeah, that's pretty much it, right?
Z-Fi
Very
is
unfortunate though for Z-Fi.
absolutely screaming on that one. I mean, like you said, this game was yes, in their favor. Yes, Lonta was out of mana, but Relza was very close behind. You never know.
Demonic sentence.
Hard to say, but
Sep.
I don't
Transfer. Sprint shot. Fear. Success. Chaos Bolt. Chaos Bolt. Never Ward. Dark Pact. Faint. Never Ward. Chaos Bolt. Counter. Step. Kidney. Trinketed. Down. Chaos Bolt. Leg swing. Fear. Sacred technique. Ring of Peace. Lock wall. Shadow
Cheap
dance.
shot.
Trinketed.
Shadow
Countered.
period.
Chaos
Smoke
bolt.
bomb.
Fear.
Lock wall down.
Chaos bolt.
Cocoon down.
Evasion. Havoc. Venom. Evasion. Spell lock. Nether ward. Fear. Counter. Nether ward down. Gouge. Dark path. Crimson vial.
It's the game. The series is still, like a favorite for Chewbacca. Though Bob thrown a life unless they change their strategy or get lucky with a cheese. I don't see much from this. And if you're Waz, if you're Raikou, Meh, Mercy, you're loving it because I think they feel very confident into Lontar's team. Sorry, they're not loving it. They feel very confident into Lontar's team. They don't want to face this, but we'll see who point gets picked. Okay.
Stealth. Transcendence. Prowl.
These teams are trolling because there's
Transfer.
no way of
Cheap
picking-
shot.
What is going on?
Transfer. Cyclone. Tiger's lust. Transcendence. Step. Kick. Ring of peace. Revival. Faint down. Solar beam.
Entanglement.
Gouge. Fine. Step. Vanish. Shadow dance. Secret technique. Step. Cheap shot. Precognition. Kick. Invoke Mulan. Precognition down. Kidney. Shale Trinket. Incarnation down. Frenzied. Barkskin. Dismantle. Vanish. Cheap shot. Cyclone. Success. Cocoon down. Trinketed. Trinketed. Precognition down. Paralysis. Sprint. Shadow dance. Sacred technique. Ring of peace. Evasion down.
Entanglement.
Transfer. Incarnation illusion. Shadow
Cheap
dance.
shot.
Step.
Transfer.
Kick. Instinct. Forbearance down.
But if I'm in this position and my team is playing heavily aggressive Windwalker, I will not be telling them to pick hook point. I'm looking through the map list. I'm picking the biggest map, biggest square footage here, and just picking that one and telling Lonta to sit back and relax. But I don't know. I definitely want to use the all.
Prowl. Transcendence. Demonic circle. Rape done. Trinketed. Inferno. Lock wall. Dark teleport. Trinketed. Cyclone. Success. Havoc. Lock wall down. Mortal coil. Chaos bolt. Leg sweep. Ring of peace. Nether ward. Nether ward down. Incarnation. Chaos bolt. Barkskin. Chaos bolt. Revival. Invoke Mulan. Chaos bolt. Incarnation down. Dispel. Entangling roots. Cyclone. Success. Dark pact. Cyclone. Teleport. Summon demon. Transfer. Transfer.
I am out of range.
Mortal coil. Chaos bolt. Nether ward.
Solar beam.
Paralysis. Countered. Nether ward down.
Cocoon.
Incarnation illumine. Chaos Ring of Peace. Cocoon down.
I must get closer.
Chaos Vulcan.
Trinkets with this first icy lanes on the side of Dobob. Unfortunately, Trimma still taking a lot of damage, but a nice ray of hope coming through. It did absorb a lot of damage. I don't know if that's going to top him. Actually, it is going to, but actually, so much damage came through there with that slicing winds, that new tech coming out for Windwalkers. He hit upwards of 2.5 million. Trimaz still going after Houston here. He actually pre-ring of pieces himself on the setup. They're going to go after Lonta instead, but unfortunately, and they don't get the Bark Skin.
Transcendence. Demonic Circle.
To blow the game wide open. But Dobob fighting backwards right now. Double
Dark Pact. Teleport.
Full Sun, Ice Wall comes down.
Intimidating Shout. Havoc. Storm Bolt. Mortal Coil. Commanding Shout. Chaos Bolt. Shadow Fury. Leg Sweep. Chaos Bolt. Counter. Super Smash. Strike. Dragon Roar. Avatar. Chaos Bolt. Shockwave. Ring of Peace. Storm Bolt. Life Cocoon. Spell Reflection down. Cookie. Chaos Bolt. Invoke Yulon. Fear. Trinketed. Cocoon down. Havoc. Tiger's Lust. Coil. Chaos Bolt. Super Smash. Chaos Bolt. Shaylin Gift. Spell Lock. Trinketed. Countered. Leg Sweep. Paralysis. Chaos Bolt. Shadow Fury. Shockwave. Fear. Success. Chaos Bolt. Chaos Bolt. Dispel. Fear. Storm Bolt. Countered. Chaos Bolt. Fear. Success. Teleport. Super Smash Strike. Forbearance down.
Trimaz is just stunning Houston and trying to run away and stall. Maybe waiting for. There it is. Okay. No skin. Can they get more? Get a restun. Houston is covered on the other side. He doesn't even have to trick. If this sun comes through, Houston ring of piecing as well to just make sure that Trimaz can't stick on one side. Lonta's gonna get the skin back for the next stun.
Really, really important stun for Lonta to survive. If you don't get the string there. Unfortunately, more on the side of Dobob, but I feel like Dobob still has shows that side. There's the ice wall coming out there on the signature on Houston. Get the karma, but they don't.
Sphere of Transcendence. Super Smash. Break Stun. Cyclone. Success. Storm Bolt. Solar Beam. Invoke Yulon. Trinket. Action down.
Shibaku Tensei striking back here on hook point, taking it 3-2. That was just kind of out of nowhere.
I mean, twice this series for Vezia pulling a Raikou and not looking. I'm not impressed, honestly. I love the Dobob team. I think they're great to watch, but I think today
Nelly feels for a friend of the Grumbles. Like you.
You need to put your foot on the pedal. You need to make something happen because this was just this was too slow. Basically, on Dobob, and obviously unfortunate for Vezia not able to block in time. Surprising amount of burst. Less.
Yeah, I mean, that's what actually happened here to him. He was kind of left alone in midfield. The Trimaz was getting swapped too, and Grez had already used his Guardian and his Ray of Hope. Get behind the pillar here to get away from Z-Pies. Z-Pies already, so he shadows at his back, and then they get just a swamp of Bethesda.
not improving the Z-Fly, I think it's creating something there. And yeah, actually using the greater invis wall, but
I mean, yeah, that's what I've heard. I can imagine that is the worst feeling. Currently,
Never happened to anyone on this desk.
Time. Yeah, well, we're gonna have to ask Maruki about that. I think he's more qualified to answer that question.
well, I still remember him dying to that beast people who was a low run in 140p when I was 15, 16 years old. Then loved it. Touch of death comes through.
The
Seemed like
combatants are ready and waiting. So what's the holdup?
But moving forwards, Bob headed towards the losers brackets. It's not over for them yet, but great placement, I would say. And if you're Echo right now, you're absolutely rejoicing having to face Ontar and Co rather than having to face Scorpia. Aiming to win this next series. It's going to be against JT, it's going to be a tough one. Every single cup, especially it's been a if they win this one, I can see them being
Time to break.
Camouflage. Psychic Scream. Unholy Assault. Explosive Trap. Beast Trap.
They just need like
Dead
little
Breath. Apocalypse.
the odds in their favor chance.
Ice Bat. That is Penitence. Asphyxiate. Hunter's Mark. Scatter Shot. PS down. Beast Trap. Shot. PS. Infusion down. Shell down. Big heal. Deterrence down. PS down. Multi-sting. Dark Transform. That is down. Explosive Trap. Spatial Rift. Big Heal. Scatter Shot. Dispel. Freezing Trap.
Extremely tough so far.
Word Barrier.
It is overload facing off against X.
Forbearance down. Camouflage. Psychic Scream. Big Heal. Pet Stun. Fury of the Eagle. Explosive Rush Shot. Hunter's Mark. Breathing Trap. Big Heal. Save Off. Close. Penitence. Big Heal. Power in. Deterrence down. Psychic Scream. Mark. Freezing Trap. Trapped. Heal. Infusion down. Shadow Stun. Pet Stun. Explosive Trap. Precognition. Word Barrier. Mind Blast.
I didn't see that coming. Neither did they.
Coordinated Assault down. Big heal. Freezing trap. Icebound. Unholy assault. A magic shell. Apocalypse. Asphyxiate. Shell down. Head stun. Fury of Death Ray. Explosive part. Big heal. Flesh bound. Accelerate. Prick. Down. Scream. Hunter's mark. Witchborn down. Scatter shot. Penitence. Anti-magic shell. Fit is down. Shell down. Explosive trap. Big heal. Dark transform. Apocalypse. PS. Fury of the Eagle. Head stun. PS down. Spectral Sight. Big heal. Immolation. Stab. Big heal. Blood infusion down. Fit is down. Binding shot. Explosive shot. Big heal. Never walk. Bound. Door of sacrifice. Bound. Desperate prayer. Bound. Never walk down. Eruption. Shadow fiend. Mind metamorphosis. Counterance. Explosive shot. Trinketed. Hunt. Mind blessed. Explosive shot. Fury of the Eagle. Bound. Metamorphic scream. Big heal. Big heal. Blur. Mind blessed. Metamorph down. In prison. Scatter shot. Death. Blur down. Explosive shot. Eruption. Explosive shot. Fury of Big heal.
Hello everybody, and welcome back. We're here in the second series in the upper bracket of the European Grand Finals. It is Overload versus Echo. The big question with both of these teams is, can they come back to their former glory? Overload
Camouflage.
Cup number 1 didn't do so great in Cup number 2. I think it's going to take them.
Overload, they won the Cup number 1, like you just mentioned.
Immolation. Head stun. Counter shot. Molten. Field. Big heal. Psychic scream. Big metamorphosis. The Hunt. Big kill. Eruption. Infusion down.
Yeah, it seems like Overload and
Metamorph down.
both kind of gotten into that feral mage as something they've started playing a lot more. Waz, we obviously saw play a lot more feral, and I'm interested to see what happens in the last month now with a lot of practice, if he's a lot more comfortable on the feral, because it seems like everyone kind of steered away from the rogue, and now it's just but similar to Ben said, or going back to what Ben said, I think it's important to realize that it's all about who's going to be more efficient. Who's getting more CC, who's getting cooldowns effectively. If someone, dies with that block a few times, that's
Spatial rift.
I am out of range.
Spatial war. The Hunt. Horse. Immolate. Void Shift. Big. Desk. Penitence. Lichborn. Imprison. Anti-magic shell. Metamorphosis. Soul Reaper. Lichborn down. Psychic Scream. Trans.
really focused on it, so very curious to see if they kind of push past the unfortunate happenings of the Cubs.
Here's also, but I mean, Echo, they're veterans. They could certainly pull that off. So we will be seeing that. But Ben, something you kind of already mentioned as well. Do you feel like that's something that they should bring out? Do you think that's something that they can bring out?
It seems like Waz is losing a little bit of confidence in the road.
I have many wares.
It felt like Feral Druid, it just has that very scary cooldown, that incarnation, especially as you get later on in the game. That cooldown can single-handedly win you the game. So he was opting to play way more Feral Druid. I think he's probably had some changes to the game, but I still do expect to just go straight into Feral Mage 3 matchups here. I think Waz is feeling very confident on that Feral Druid. He's always been very Waz, with his experience of balance to it, and basically every class in the game. I have full faith in Waz to perform on that Feral, even against the likes of TJ, Flappers. I think he'll be a really good player to coach him.
Hey. Someone else on that team on Echo, Absurge, that doesn't quite get mentioned as much, Mercy. We don't really see him that often. Obviously, very talented Warlock. Do you think maybe that's a player that we'll see come out today in this series or some of the other ones?
I don't know about this series. I feel like for Mercy, Warlock is just not something that we see really much this season, and I think he plays a really solid warrior as well. But for this matchup with Overload, I think it's mainly going to come down to the Feral Mage Priest, like Ben Ruki was talking about. I don't know if we'll see him come in for this series, but I think that Mercy could definitely be utilized against, a team like Shibaku, where Arms Warrior now could potentially be a class that just kind of create that sustained pressure where, eventually with enough uptime, which Zico mentioned yesterday, if the Arms Warrior has enough uptime on you, you can kind of just start passively forcing cooldown. So maybe in that series, if they win this, we can see them, but I feel like Mercy for now will let us have to be on the sideline and have faith in his team, have confidence, and try to just hope they win. I think that's his position right now.
Okay, well, definitely a lot of options for both of these teams here. The proving grounds for Overload and Echo. Get those predictions in chat. Tell us how you think these two teams are going to go in this series. It's upper bracket. It's best of 5. Loser dropping down in the lower bracket to face off against Dobop. It's game number 1 here on the Grand Arena.
Yeah, lots on the line. Even just going down and fighting Dobop in an elimination series, neither one of these teams really want that. And somehow, the matchup has evolved. We are going to be tagging out the Pharaoh Druid for both of these squads. It's going to be a subtlety rogue mage priest mirror. That's an interesting one. I did not expect it.
Immolation.
Fun game.
Spectral Fight.
I did not expect
Transcendence.
Sub-Bros to come out. If anything, Outlaw would do the swap, but you know, Sub-Bros.
Thunderstorm. Sides down.
Back onto Oscar to start things off.
Eruption.
Boss kind of sitting themselves.
The Hunt. Ring of Trinket. Counter-Strike Totem. Surging Counter Arm. Dark Nova. Blur down. Immolation. Restore. Wind Shear. Earth Rod. Primordial Ray. Eruption. Purge. Metamorph down. Hex. Success. Purge. Surging Totem. Elemental Blast. Immolation. Shaylund Gift. Ring of Peace. Astral Shift. Metamorph down. Dispel. Primordial. Astral Shift down. Counter-Strike Totem. Immolation. Flex. Blur. Capacitor. Chaos Nova. Surging Totem. Demon Kick. Thunderstorm. Blur down.
Has Guardian Spirit come back as well, and I think right now Echo is starting to find some ground, but still a little bit behind. I would say the next setup on Wads could definitely be 2 seconds. They have a small window to get some pressure. More sheeps on Green Hoodie as well. There's just kind of trading blows right now, and I think JT's just in a prime position then.
And he's really known for having this far away positioning. Doesn't want to be out the fight. That's going to grip Waz back as well as Raikou in that double rip. Maybe a cheap shot here.
Immolation. The Hunt.
So far, just pure
The Hunt.
damage.
Sprint Shot. South Nova. Grow Silence. Imprison. Cloak down. Tiger Silence. Leg Swing. Blur down. Paralysis. Restore. Metamorph down. Eruption. Trinket Forfeit. I-Beam. Shaylund Gift. Dispel.
Let's go with it. Getting a little used to threes or what?
Kick.
So much
Metamorph down.
You're not trying to push threes at all this season?
I would on my threes.
Paralysis.
I'm not that
Metamorphosis. Vanish. Sprint.
I'm trying to learn
Sprint.
or get better at it.
Eruption.
Yeah, I feel you. I'm trying to push threes.
Immolation.
At some point. So I'm trying to find somebody to...
Shift.
Oh no. I healed, what's their face?
Like cocoon. Never walk. Kidney. Never walk down. Block.
Yaz?
Shaylund Gift.
This is what Riley Reed
Trinket.
or whatever the fuck
Yeah.
this shit
Kick.
is in Discord.
Cocoon down.
Yeah, I
Ring
healed
of
him
the
and
Hunt.
Hobo the other
I-
day as Disc Priest, and I was chasing him, bro. Chasing him,
Immolation
chasing
Vial.
him, chasing him.
Metamorph down.
I was like, oh.
Down.
They said it before I did though. They were like, I know it's hard to chase us. I was like, oh.
I'm about to screw
Imprison. Shaylund Gift. Vanish. Cheap Shot Nova. Metamorphosis. Grow Silence. Shift.
Run.
Grow Silence.
Real
Fight
time.
Sigil. Metamorph down. Leg slow down.
It's over. Nice kick.
Also sells both
Nice
balls,
kick,
so
Mr. Monk.
From Bruhidi, who had to trinket. Also
There's
just
way
still
too much
taking
fucking
the
healing, dude.
damage here. Meb position
Trying to keep
behind
those
pillar,
fucks up.
Apotheosis is up. We get a double fear.
What do you want to heal, bro? Because like, I don't want to play in twos. I don't want to play my boom kit.
Yeah, but 100's good. What else you
Yeah,
got?
I got the hunter right now. He's geared. The pally's geared, but and he's like low DR to the point where the forbearance wouldn't matter too much. But I know you said all your guys are at like 18. So that would be, at that point, it would be a little stuck in most of the games. I feel like everybody knows how to play at that
Primordial
point.
Ray. Surging Totem. Earth Paralysis. Bloodlust.
Otherwise, I got the warrior, but he's barely geared.
Will of the
And I
Forsaken.
really don't know how to play him, so I don't want
Faint
to like...
down.
I
Invert
gotta play 100,
Mulan.
dude. Play 100. 100's good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is the only guy that it's not gonna... The forbearance isn't gonna fucking, you know, the DRs aren't gonna link up and
Heavy
anything.
away.
There's the only guy I really got.
Dispel.
But I've been practicing a little bit with him on
Capacitor.
Beast Mastery, so that'll be...
Elemental Blast. Earth God. Elemental Blast. Gift. Purge. Dispel. Surging Totem. Elemental Blast. Astro's. Step targeted. Shaylun's Gift Mark. Blood Primordial Way. Astral Shift down. Cloak down.
Here comes the ice wall. You can see here, this is where Bruhidi almost go down and they force out that trinket. And forcing out the trinket to help them out in that situation is very important into what ends up allowing them to win the game.
We got me with the root, what a bitch.
Has no trinket himself. So how does Echo set this up? Raiku's moving forward. Looks like Bruhidi gets stripped away and it's just Waz. He goes for the cheap shot. Out of the cheap shot, he gets the gouge.
I mean, I will give it to him, bro. They gave Boomy, like, the decency enough to, like, be able to just insta-cast and kite around the map.
Greater invisibility.
But it's not a very good class to play twos with. Like,
Garrote Silence. Tiger's Lust. Cheap Shot. Dispel. Garrote Silence.
like I can play the shit out of Boomy, but it's not a twos.
All the time.
Play threes with Boomy.
Paralysis. Store. Alter time down. Ray of Frost.
Want to try and push elite
Dispel.
threes.
Mage. Shield. Shaylun's Gift. Kick.
Maybe like 22,000-23,000.
Icy Veins. Blast Wave. Life Cocoon. Ice Block. Cold Snap. Kick. Ice Block down. Mage. Shield. Cocoon Vanish. Cheap Shot. Alter Time. Step Shot. Sprint. Dragon Breath.
Dude, I don't know why I can't fucking keep these guys up, dude.
Battle Master down.
Bro, it's solo shuffle, trust me. It's not because you're playing bad, it's just solo shuffle. These guys don't know how to press fucking anything, bro. They don't know how to press defensives, they don't know how to press fucking... They don't know how to not kite their fucking healers, bro. It's ridiculous.
Well, they did a pretty good setup on me right there, though, but I mean, my teammates just fucking flop.
You know, made their stamp on these type of compositions as well, but this is something that
Immolation.
You guys got my number in this one.
Transcendence. The Hunt. Greater Invisibility. Chaos Nova. Sigil Fear. Trinketed. Ideal. Action. Wings. Blur. Spite Sigil. Ice Suit Inhalation. Shaylin Gift. Imprison. Frost. Dispel. Cocoon down. Tiger's Lust. Paralysis. Trinketed. Metamorph down. Polly. Never walk. Success. Dispel. Battle Master. Chaos Nova. Metamorphosis. Ring of Peace. Blast Wave. Metamorph down. Immolation. Leg Swift. Paralysis. What? Imprison. Time. Shaylun's Gift. Counterspell. Block. Ice Block down. Bolt down. Alternate time. Down. Trinketed. Eruption. Chaos Nova. Cocoon down. Dispel. Mage. Dragon Breath. Frost Nova. Demon Kick. Counter. Ice Blast down. Polly.
Oh, bro, I was gonna tell you,
I don't know what fuck.
you were talking about pushing the,
I feel like. Would you agree with that?
that
because
mythic mount. It's right now, if you're trying to gear like a off dude for it or whatever, they have each boss drops like an extra piece of gear or some shit like that.
Probably Disc Priest, you do?
Yeah, the final boss of each war within dungeon will drop an extra item. Now, I don't know if that means gear or whatever.
Greater invisibility.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I think there's a reason why.
Disc Priest is #1 right now.
Ring
It's the
of
top healer for ethics. But it's hard though, bro. It's not. It's like it's the same as pushing fucking like Vlad in PvP essentially. Like it's
Astral
not easy.
Shift down. Cocoon down.
This one, 2. 2 and 6.
Obviously, it's a game, and they have you know mechanics, and you can figure it out because it's just a fucking game. But
I have many lucky
We gotta start fresh and see how we go. I mean, I've never done any dungeons. It'd be nice to know somebody that fucking done a dungeon.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited to see how this.
yeah, I mean, bro, we could easily fucking. You know, if you're for sure healing, and I have, you know, like I could tank, but I would prefer to get a tank that actually knows the dungeons.
Yeah,
low key.
Me too.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Just because it would be that much easier. But Boomkin is good right now, so I didn't, you know, in damage, so I wouldn't mind playing Boomkin, and I wouldn't mind playing Mage, so that you could get the drinks and the intellect buff. And that would be helpful, I'm guessing, at the higher keys.
I think whatever does the most damage. I'm not worried about the food. I mean,
yeah.
whoever kills the shit the quickest.
Yeah, let me pull up Murloc. Meta DPS plus. It's Boomy. Boomy's the top damage right now in Mythic Plus.
Comes a frost wall, the ice wall, but Matt is easily there. Gets caught in the cheap shot immediately.
Let me see.
Matt in the middle of the map. He gets cheap shot at the same time. Oscar taking a huge hit of damage, and unfortunately,
Boomy's the top, and Disc Priest is the top. But at the higher keys, bro, like at the lower keys, you could probably get away with your PvP gear.
But, and then just slowly get the other stuff. Yeah.
kind of
Yeah,
repositioned,
but
so I feel like
with
the next big push towards JT, they can create a
yeah, and it looks like
force a
Oracle's
block or
rank
maybe even
1
force
right
a
now
trinket from
too.
Brunhilde if they decide to swap rogue.
And it looks like you don't even have to learn the Void Weaver.
I think I need to
Oh, he gets
see what people are doing
into the
though.
fear, huge defense
Like
from Overload,
spec-wise.
and Raikou actually does not get any follow-ups. He's taking a cheap shot. And it looks like right now we're just kind of, a bit of a
For Disc
game,
Priest?
trying to get some CC on the Priest because at any
Oh yeah,
moment,
you're talking
one
about
false
like
split, we could go down. Like Raikou right
Talent
now taking a
points.
ton of damage. Ice Barrier.
yeah.
I'm gonna go to Murloc real quick.
Polymorphs on the Brunhilde.
It looks like they got they're running. It looks like they're running damage build Oracle.
Overload kind of survived a scary
Yeah, and I
moment.
don't have haste
So-
for that. Damage build Oracle now. Damage build Void Reaver.
Careful. That's going to be an ice block, and Raikou really taking advantage of JT's positioning, hitting a beautiful
bad, what were you
ice
saying?
wall, and that's going to be the first
That's
ice
his
block here.
Void Weaver.
Raikou
Missing
now under a
plus.
little bit of pressure. He's got his icy veins, power infusion, massive damage here on Oscar's on
yes.
hypothermia. Needs to be really careful.
Yeah, so if you go to meta,
basically everything traded
I'm
and
on
then go to
Murloc
healer.
right now.
so it's unlikely he
Yeah,
goes
that's
down,
what I'm
but now
saying.
those cooldowns
Meta,
have
and then
subsided.
go to healer, then go to
Could
Mythic
potentially
Plus.
fall. Keep in mind it was Brunhilde that
Mastery,
was number one, but
20% haste, so it's Mastery haste build. They have 34% critical. The thing is, they don't have bursts at all, dude.
Yeah, I think that's definitely.
They got the massive crit, 20%
solid
haste.
rogue swaps, but right now we see some.
Let me see
CC
what
on
else
there,
they got
some
here.
cheap
I mean, I
shots.
can make some
Overload's
gear.
down a block as well, so Echo is slowly pushing
Yeah,
over right
and
now
I can make
early in
gear
the
too
game
for you
with
too
just
if you run out of
pressure
like
onto Oscar.
acuity or
And I think
whatever.
right now it's kind of.
But I think for all the rank
We're kind of
5
just
shit
wondering what's
that
going to
you're
happen
talking
with CC
about,
on the
like for
Priest,
all the
because
max level
do they
shit for
want to
season
swap
2,
the
we
rogue?
would
Do they
have to
want
run
you to stay
mythics
on the mage?
anyways to get
I think with the
the
way
shit.
JT's positioned, if Raikou could get another solid ice wall there, they could maybe force more cooldowns because
Copy.
he's just kind of standing by these boards.
Border.
And if you get ice walled here between these boards, you're not going to be able to heal. Huge cheap shot into the walls as well.
But you
Walls
see what I'm
actually create a
talking about,
illusion,
like with
so
the
we're trying to
talent
stay
build,
on
how
point,
it's
but
kind of like
huge
you're
trinket
you're
from
running like you're
Yeah,
running
it
for
is.
atonement, but you're running for damage
weird
at the
that
same
it's
kind
time.
of trying to find their moment
Weird he does
to
that.
get a nice one shot.
Yeah, which is weird though because you might as well at that point like
Do Void Reaver.
yeah, you know what I'm saying, because you could run the atonement, you would get more benefits out of the atonement running Void Weaver.
Dragon's Breath now onto JT. It's been a real struggle.
There must be a specific reason he's running Oracle.
I don't think it's a good reason. But it's
I
3,400.
think it's the premonitions, bro. I think when, yeah, because in PvE, when you try and cast Radiance, you can't insta-cast Radiance.
For his own push.
And, in PvE. Because
Yeah,
it's a
I know.
PvP talent.
20% dampening, and
So he's probably doing it so he can insta-cast
setups where you just have
Radiance or
like a cheap shot into a gouge or a cheap shot into
Atonement.
Dragon's Breath. He's gonna start
that could be.
either gets lower and lower.
Yeah, I think as the dampening kicks in, we're going to see a lot
I don't know.
more panic, I would say, from each side.
I don't even know what
trying to
new
trade off
talents I
cooldowns
got
and
in
not
here.
be too low, especially if it's before a setup. It's interesting that both teams have actually been a lot more cautious too with their trinkets. You know,
But
Raikou
prayer
goes
mending,
sitting
too,
here,
huh?
gets dispelled a little late, and Kitty shot on the walls. Chastise, huge
Prayer
chastise on
fucking
the
mending.
Kitty though from there to kind of slow down that setup. And both teams are actually being a lot more cautious as far as trading their trinkets on the side of the Mage and the Rogues of both teams. So, yeah, smoke bomb onto Oscar. Nice, like slash block, and that's the last block for Overload for honestly the next couple of years. I think they could get trouble here as dampening kicks in then.
I think we can start doing some light recruitment right now
Shadow Blades is available. Icy Veins coming
for
in
like
18
Mythic Plus
seconds.
progression
Looking to go after
for next
Go,
expansion.
and it is looking good. Already one
I know you're
shot
talking
out
about
of
doing
Overload.
it.
I would like to have
He's playing very defensive right now. He
a
realizes
PvE side to
he
the
is in
guild,
a
to be
lot of
honest,
trouble.
but
Likely still has
Yeah,
every
like I don't want to
defensive
force it
down.
on anybody. I would just
Now,
like
Raikou
to start
easily shrugs
recruiting
that
people
off,
that
thinking
want to
he's
do
gonna
it.
kill it,
but the thing is, you need a consistent tank. Otherwise, you're never gonna. And most of these like top guys, they don't.
Yeah.
They stick with their.
I know how to play
center.
Blood DK, bro. I just don't know the fights. So once I learn how to do all the fights on DPS, bro, I'll play Blood DK.
Oscar just blinks out of
Praise the machine.
out of the kidney shot. Ice Wall comes down.
I will
JT
see
is
you in
there.
the
Blind
archive.
trades out.
Just
Immediate
because,
trinket on that.
like, I don't
If you
like
are
playing
lost in
DPS,
darkness,
DK, bro,
you are
and
here to help.
PvP, like, it's just, I don't like doing it, so I always make
one more ice block.
my
Be strong,
my
my friend.
DK a tank.
Your
Yeah, I think
aid
Echo is
brings
kind of in the
hope
lead
to
right
us
now.
all.
Mez seems
What
to
did
be
I
in a
have
really
gear
good
on?
position
I
as
got
well.
gear on.
It seems really hard for Oscar to kind of CC Med, but also it seems hard for him to get any sort of ice walls here. He's taking a ton of damage. JT's in spirit form, casting to my room. How is Oscar going to survive? He has a block in 20 seconds.
And I think, bro, low-key, honestly, like, you should be able to play in last season's PvP gear to do mythic zeros.
Should I start over? A new tier? I don't know, dude.
Maybe get a Dragon's Breath into a sheep on JT. Actually, a lot of CC from Raikou, but if they get any pressure on Oscar, he's kind of behind.
But I got like 5 fortunes. I guess up to 645.
Guardian Spirit comes out from JT
Gear for PvE.
Kind of survived now, but
Better than what I got.
So that's worth 2 pieces of gear.
What, is it 2 spark per gear? I think it's 1 spark.
Well, it's 2. Well, it's 2. Hold on. It's it's 2 sparks to get the and 250 Valor Stones to get the Spark of Fortunes, right? So if you get the Fractured Spark, it takes 2 to get the
Yeah, I got
spark.
5 spark.
Oh, you got the normal spark. Okay.
Keep Oscar alive. And Raikou may have
let me hop on
overstayed
my-
his welcome. He gets gripped back from man. Says, "Get back here. I need to heal you up."
Let me hop on the man that has the plan for all the gear real quick, so I can tell you exactly how much it takes.
About 1 ice block apiece, 1 void shift apiece, and this is still anyone's game. Yeah, both Rose have trinkets, so Waz actually sitting the cheap shot. We get a nice polymorph on a Brunhitty, and I don't think the Rose are the kill target. It seems like both
Alright,
sides are kind of
so
to the mages. Oscar's slowly riding down.
it depends what you need
Maybe get an altar to prevent the
for
block. Guardian
crafting
Spirit up.
gear.
They might have procced the Guardian there as well. Ooh, huge dismantle onto Waz. Oscar
But most of what I have unlocked to make,
seems like he's kind of
anyways,
stabilized for now, but 44% dampening. There's the block.
it looks like you
JT
only
gets
need
shot
1
past
spark.
And oh, gets MD. Oh, that's it. Oh my goodness. And Med just gets a nice MD, gets out of the
Dominant
block.
One spark per
mind up
piece.
to 1 level.
You know, a couple scary points for them, but I feel like they were in control.
He's like
of this
dominant
game.
mind and shit on. What the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, just Matt, Waz once again being a playmaker for the team.
I don't know about wasting talents on shit like that,
Comes
dude.
down, drops the smoke bomb. He's not able to recover. But Oscar honestly
know
did a
what the
pretty good
fuck
job
that is.
hiding around here, but inevitably dampening is just so high. I mean, there's not that much JT
Right there.
can do. He trinkets out of the
Or they have
line,
mind
uses
control.
Dragon's Breath. JT gets now put into a kidney shot once again. Waz on a solo.
But I guess it does it
Close out the game.
automatically, huh? But
Smoke
50,000
bomb
mana,
down,
dude?
And
I
Oscar
guess
just
mind
gets
control is
taken down
50,000
in that
too.
smoke bomb. So this is the 2nd game in a row. Dampening gets higher. Waz basically just solo controls the team, solo controls the damage, and pulls off a win. He's looking to be a playmaker for his team here.
Yeah, I don't know if I should start with a fresh priest or not.
Convincing from Echo. I mean, they managed to be up 2
Transfer
blocks
this
to 0.
PvP gear over just to get it started. I think that's the play.
But yeah, that was basically 3 ice blocks from Oscar from 1.
Just so you don't mess up what you got going on already.
No, so because you only have so many
what I like seeing from Echo, I think, in this
sparks
game
and not sparks,
especially when
but
both teams are going at the mages and
like
kind of
converting your
trading
gear and all
mages,
that shit.
It seems like Echo is doing a really good job of just.
So I'm gonna
giving
buy 100 boxes,
small disruptions
send them
JT.
to.
I think from, you know, you've done a lot of healing as in your solo shuffles. I think you understand from the healer perspective.
Yeah, I'm
all
gonna
of these
just
micro
cut the stream
CCs that you get,
for now.
especially in
Just like,
dampening, it creates a lot of panic in the game where it's hard to.
Nobody's
It's
watching
hard to tell
anyway.
when you're able to get a cooldown.
Yeah, I
off,
guess
when
there's a
you're
few people on
able
X
to get some
watching.
healing out. So
I'm gonna cut the stream. I'll be on later and do PvP, guys. I might stream PvP.